Hey guys, Brian here with VetteSource, checking in on New Year's Day. Hope everybody had a great New Year and looking forward to 2019. We finally got a little bit of cold snap weather here, cloudy and gray, but still a great day for working on cars and having fun. So today I thought I'd kind of swing back over to our 91 Formula 350 that honestly I haven't had to do really any kind of updates to, because the moment that I dragged this car back in and got it back up where I wanted to, I got it inspected, and I've spent the last 7 months just driving this thing. So funny thing is, this has probably been one of the best used car purchases I've made in a while without having to do anything to. And then finally something kind of cropped up that I'm going to address here in a minute. But as you can see, probably the only thing that really went wrong with this car in the 5,000 plus miles I've driven it, or the family's driven it in the last 7 months, is the clear coat. I think I pointed this out last time, but the clear coat has really gotten much worse than it was before. In fact, much worse to the point, you can kind of see in this picture or this video right here, they did not spray any color coat on this hardly at all. They just cleared it. So whoever did this Earl Shives type paint job really messed it up. So and down here in Texas, what happens, you can actually see it's going straight through to the metal here. The paint's just burning off of it really quickly. So what's going to happen is I will probably end up having to put this car down for paint maintenance. I wasn't really going to worry about painting it, but I just can't afford to let this beautiful 91 Formula 350 get deteriorated anymore with this, of course, heat coming up in the summer. But I wanted to kind of focus on one of the other things we're dealing with here with this car, and it's a common issue with a lot of these cars from the 80s and 90s. You can see it still looks really clean, and everything worked on this car. Cruise control, air conditioning, old school Kenwood stereo, blasting out some Metallica and Iron Maiden, so it really did the trick. Dash isn't cracked. I mean, it's just been a really enjoyable car for cruising around in and going to run errands, to be honest with you. But anyway, so cars in the 80s and 90s, a lot of the manufacturers like to use electric hatch pull-down motors. And basically what it did was, when you set the hatch or the trunk lid back down, you didn't slam it, because if you slammed it, you'd actually break it. But you'd set it in the closed, clicked lock position, and the trunk motor would pull the rest or seal it tight for you automatically. It was really kind of a neat feature. And I think on my other Formula 350 over here, old Yeller, I believe it's still functioning. Let me see if I got my keys in my pocket and I can show you. Oh yeah, they're over here on top of the car. But what's funny is the car manufacturers use these quite a bit in the 80s and 90s cars, and a lot of the luxury cars. You know, the Lincoln over there has one. The Cadillac Alante has 2 of them, and there's quite a few of them around. So as you can see, that motor just kind of popped back up again. So what happened when I shut this, sorry for the jet flying over. Let me wait till that's finished there. I'll give you a good view of this. So as I latch this shut, it's actually pulling it down for me. So it was kind of just a neat feature, kind of a luxury feature, if you will, even though third gen were not considered luxury cars or more sporty cars. It was something they did. Interestingly enough, the Corvettes never got these pull-down motors. And I'm thinking part of it was that they needed a very intricate mechanical system to make it work. And I'm going to show you here real quick. The Corvettes don't have a metal inner structure, they're fiberglass, so I think that it didn't have enough to hold on to make it work to attach to. So let me show you here on the other Formula. I've already taken this panel off, and this is what's actually started to give me trouble. So as you can see, that is a pretty complex mechanism right there. You kind of, it's hard to see, but this is the motor itself, right? And this is the micro switch. You see what just happened when I pushed down the micro switch. So what we've got is an issue with the micro switch on this one, which It's not going to be too hard to fix, but I've got to take it apart. In fact, I think it's probably cracked, but I'm going to show you on another one that I took out here. So this is an electric hatch pull-down motor. The problem is, as cool as they are and they're neat, what happened in the mid-2000s was you had a case where I think it was one summer, I want to say it was 03, 04, 11 kids and adults, I think there were some adults in this too, got locked in trunks during hot summer months and died. So the government finally stepped in and said, hey, no more of this. No more, you know, electric hatch motors, things of that nature. Plus the complexity of them, probably the manufacturers just figured it was time to let them go. So what they did now, the new cars all have a pull down, not a pull down, but an actual hatch release switch from inside the trunk if you actually find yourself silly enough to get locked inside a trunk. You know, so that's something to be said for that. But as you can see from this angle, this mechanism actually even requires a relay over here to make it work, and there's a couple of grounds straps that come into play here. So there's an actual, this is the actual latch itself, and then this entire mechanism right here pulls the assembly down. There's a clevis rod right there like you'd see on an aircraft part. So it's a pretty neatly designed piece. It's not cheap either to find them, but they've kind of gone the way of the dodo bird. So I thought I would kind of detail these today and show you what goes wrong. So this is the unit I pulled off the Alante builder over there, the burn recovery. I've got a link to that video up in my above my head. And what happens is, even though the motors may still be good, it's just basically a worm gear motor that attaches there, and this is your spot where your electrical connection goes in. What happens is the housing itself breaks, like this one just did. So here's the latch, it's mounted like this, and the latch comes down, and then the worm gear inserts in there and pulls it in there. But what happened was the housing broke, so it comes apart, and it can't keep any force on it. So with this one here, as I turn it, you'll see the threads coming down on this one, and what it does, it pulls the motor down. So that's the entire mechanism in a nutshell right there. But in this case, what happened on this one, the housing cracked and damaged, so it won't function like it's supposed to. Now the good thing is, they make these housings, you can actually buy them aftermarket and put them back together again. You can see all the cracks in that one. But you know, it's just something interesting that you'll saw in a lot of cars back then, and really nowadays you just don't run across it very often. I think I did see maybe Audi might still make trunk latch pull downs, but I'm pretty sure that all the US manufacturers have stopped doing this. And of course this is the micro switch that when you bring it down, it sits down on top of there and activates the electrical connector on there. So pretty cool stuff, you know, something that's kind of the way of the dodo bird, like hood ornaments and some of the other things you see on older cars. Thought I'd give you a little tutorial on that, let you guys see what it is, and kind of use it as an opportunity to follow up on our Firebird here. And like I said, I've really had a lot of fun, and you can see right there, see, that's just bare metal. So I will probably go ahead and rebuild the headlight motors in this thing on one more video, because those did start failing on me, and probably put it away, or actually start the strip down process, and I'll probably catalog that as I'm doing it, so you guys can see what's involved in stripping the car back down again and replacing some of the stuff. But hope you enjoy the video. Let me know if you guys need anything or have any questions. You can comment below. You know, give me a like if you like the video and want to see me do a few more of these. I do enjoy talking about this stuff. Obviously, I've been doing this for a long time now. This is kind of just my thing that I like to do. So let me know what you think. Give me some feedback, and I will check back in with you another day. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.